Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha, good morning. This is Geebz here, your old composer here at the Decomposer Lounge, doing something that is special to me in a very weird way. Now, Pantera has had an incredible journey, and I'm new at this. I'm not going to BS anybody here. I'm completely new. That's what this journey is about on this channel, is finding the metal that's always been in my blood and not really had an opportunity to thrive until I started this channel. Now, I have to admit, without a doubt, I've heard of Pantera when I was younger, as well as Slayer and Megadeth and Metallica and all these bands and stuff. And each one of these bands have such unique stories. But the one thing about Pantera that I just recently learned about, because I'm on that trajectory, I'm like a 17-year-old just inventing metal for the first time, is it's a horrible ending to a story with what happened. We don't need to talk about that. We know what that is. But what I find truly endearing about the story is at the very beginning is how the parents were so supportive about the brothers. You know, hey, here's music, here's a guitar, here's something. Go express yourself. You know, the parents weren't like guiding them on, hey man, you need to be jazz, blues, pop, rock, whatever. It's just that kind of support with the creative arts and stuff like that that took them on their journey. And I think where I feel a special connection to that as I go into listening to I'm Broken from Pantera is that I don't know really what the age swath is of people that are here at the channel, but whether you are a parent or when that day comes that you become a parent, one of the most important things that is a great takeaway from the story of Pantera and what I've tried to instill is to introduce the kids to some form of creativity, especially musically. It doesn't mean it's going to lead them into being millionaires and these famous band members or, you know, band origin or famous band, but just having parents and you being those parents that possibly at some point influences your child or a nephew or a niece to, you know, hey, I got my first guitar from my uncle or from my dad or something, you know. That was really important. Now, I know this sounds kind of wimpy and whimsical the way I'm saying it right now, but it's just the way I feel about it. Hey, look, it's my channel. I'm an old guy. This is how I feel about the power of music and stuff. And so, all that being said, I am going to be doing Pantera's I'm Broken. This is the second song of Pantera I've ever done on my channel. I think I did Cowboy of Hell, Cowboy from Hell or something. I'll put it at the end. So thanks for indulging me on that opening intro of this video, because I just when I read the story and I also saw it here on YouTube, I was like going, you know, that the parents, you know, right on for that. Anyhow, so getting ready to do that. Thank you so much for hanging in there. You guys know how you can support me. You want to buy me a cup of coffee or check out my Patreon and stuff. All the links are down below. So let's do this. This is Pantera's I'm Broken. All right. Okay, so without a doubt, that opening riff, just for a half a second, I thought, wow, this is pretty close to Zeppelin's The Ocean. But actually, you know, it broke away from that after the second beat of the measure. One of the things that I really love about what I'm hearing, aside from the guitar tones and the musicianship, the tone of the bass. Lately, I've been on a really big bass run. I'm not a bass player natively I'm more of a keyboard guitarist and stuff with what I do. But what a great bass sound, and what a great kick drum sound. I know this is maybe kind of a lighter approach to my reaction, as I always tend to kind of lean into the engineering and stuff, but you guys know how I feel. The engineer becomes part of the band during this process. It was a great kick drum, and it's not really squashy and stuff. It's very organic to it. What is this? 1994. So this is really leading edge kind of engineering of 1994. Great vocals. I love this power, gritty, growling approach into the vocals in this. I'm just going to keep going. I just wanted to stop really quick and just kind of approach the fact that that riff was very, kind of sounded familiar. And also the time, the meter vibe in this, the way it switches around, there's very unique, I'm trying to square this off, no pun, as whether this is an odd meter shift or whether this is syncopation over a 4/4. For those of you who are musicians, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not a musician and you're the pure listener, which is most of the people that hang out with me here on the channel, that very unique rhythm that we're hearing through the verses until they straighten out during the what I would consider the instrumental rhythmical riff hook, has that very unique, where am I, how come I'm not feeling completely settled in the tempo, is they're doing some really super trick shit there. All right, stand by, let me go back a little bit, let's keep going.
One day I will die, back to life, to make us hear every warning, a leaking rubber, a poison, never for make of blood. Down, delusion, the last outcast, for nearly your mother, embrace the Lord.
You know, it sounds to me, and I could be wrong, and you hardcore Pantera fans can help me with that, it sounded like that was actually a doubled solo. And I mean, there were ways back in the 90s before they actually invented doublers and stuff that are these things that are used now in modules and plugins and stuff. They're these post-effect things that you can send a mono signal through and split it up and make it go kind of stereo. It's kind of a cheater way of doing things, but sometimes it works great. But it really sounds like he played this solo twice, and if that's the case, what a brilliant job, because there were only certain shifts and nuances in the solo that I'd be able to kind of detect that it was a live doubling. And to have that kind of precision, and of course Dimebag Darrell's guitar playing and stuff, which was absolutely legendary, is mind-numbing. Even down to the nuances, even down to the harmonics and stuff like that. Something else I want to bring up really quick that I really enjoyed when it was happening was there was that one section when it was really riff heavy, but the drums was straightforward. Boom, bah, boom, bah. And that kind of gave us that kind of, or at least for me, that kind of gave me that moment where I can kind of settle in deep on that riff and just let the riff really tear through. And because I wasn't being challenged by a drumming arrangement that was giving me more of a time-changing effect, syncopation and yada yada yada. That's more theoretical or music stuff. It really gave me a chance to really sink my teeth into the riff that was being played there. And then of course, I mean, that I think that straight playing only lasted for 8 bars at best, and then it went back into, you know, some unique technical, you know, rhythmical arrangements and stuff. But I just had to stop about that guitar solo because I was listening to it going, he's hitting this twice, note for note, almost absolutely perfect. But there are these little humanized nuances, you know, with the fingers, you know, a little fret noise here, or maybe a slight, you know, an earlier start of a harmonic or something that really gives you that detection that it was, you know, played twice. But those of you who are, this is only the second Pantera song I've ever listened to, so for those of you who are the big fans and stuff like that, you guys can tell me if that in fact is what it was. Okay, let me go back a little bit and we'll finish this up. Oh, is this a standard fade? Great way to finish out this song with that straight 4 playing, just to get us just locked in. And, you know, this is that kind of vibe, you know, that for myself would have probably caused me to start the song over again. You know what I mean? To end up in something that's really straightforward and stuff, because that was just a great play on rhythmical arrangements and stuff. The drumming was incredible. Let me ask you guys something this though. Because of the fact that I'm not sure on vocal sounds, I'm still trying to wrap my head. So many new genres I've been hit over the head with on this journey on the channel. His vocal approach sounds like it was probably the early beginnings of the power growling, you know, kind of approach. I mean, I really dug it. I love where it was sunk in the mix, you know, where it wasn't battling the intensity of the guitars in a tonal range, because I think that's one of the bigger challenges that I have with certain bands, that their whole repertoire, their whole discography is based around that kind of vocal performances. A lot of time there's a battle of tones, you know, where the guitars might sit in a particular tone range, and then the vocals, by virtue of the distortion in the vocals and the growling, might compete with the distortion of the guitar. So a lot of times it's like there's this unique challenge for the engineers to try to get that separated. Sometimes the only way to do that is to do one of two things: make a decision to either shove it in your face or pull it back. And in this case, I loved where the vocals were sunk, but it sounds to me like he, you know, the lead singer here was probably one of the more, and I'm only asking you guys, I don't know, at the beginning stages of what became what is now many, many years of power growling performances. But anyhow, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out here. Thanks for hanging out on the channel. Thanks for considering your support, whether it's the cup of coffee, or if not, if you just like what I'm doing, if you share the videos, that's super cool being as well. Don't forget to go on the front of my YouTube channel and look at the little search eyeglass thing, and type in your favorite band or song. I've done hundreds and hundreds of tracks from different bands. You never know if I may have covered another artist or band or song that you really super dig. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. Pantera, this was great. Please leave me more Pantera suggestions here. And I hope you enjoy the way I'm breaking stuff down. A little different, a little trippy, but hey, I'm having a blast. And like I said, I feel like a 16-year-old for the first time, being able to really dive into this with this channel. And it's all because of you guys and your suggestions. So, hey, if you're still here, type in, I'm still here. I always look at my data. People listen to the songs and people bail. But there's a few of you that do hang out for the whole thing. So, all right, guys, take care of yourself. Aloha.